the same, never fading, never stained. But good and bad times wipes away it all.
Changes in the air we breathe, changes in all we need. We are all in a sea of change.
In this world of wonder, we are all just drifting through. Sometimes the tide spins us around. There are still so many shapes of hatred, fear and doubt, but choosing love can give us solid ground. When you feel put under and life just drags you down and nothing seems to show you right from wrong, take the strength and power of love, the sound within the waves, and nothing will floating in the song.
Changes in the air we breathe,
Rich and strange,
changes in all we need. We are all in a sea of change. Reflections in the water, I sit by the lake, give my courage to face the pain. In comfort, and I know I will not be the same, but love will guide me just the same. Changes in the air we breathe, changes in all we need. We are all in the sea of change. Changes in the air we breathe, changes in all we need. We are all in the sea of change. And we are all in a sea of change.
So I'm going to ask to come to the stage now the team that are going to perform Love Is All You Need. We'll be telling you more about this as we go through the evening, but we've been writing songs over the last 6 months or so in partnership with various care homes in Medway, and in particular Parkview Lodge and the Robert Bean Lodge, which is now called Rochester Care Home. And this is one of the songs that has emerged early on out of that particular relationship. So just to introduce you to Mina and Joe, Dee Dee, and Gav and Dee Dee you'll see quite a lot of getting up and down through the evening. I think they've really earned their stripes this afternoon.
Here we go. Ready?
All you need is love. I look at my pictures and what do I see? Well-preserved memories of you and me. Across the generations we share the love, knowing we're sharing with those up above. Every photograph is a window on a memory, family and friends, smiling pictures of lovely days, happy days we hope will never end. Let's share the love, family and friends together. Let's share the love, share with the world together. picture in every frame, every happy face in every name. All the snapshots on which we gaze remind us of the good old days.
Holding my little ones close on my knee, looking so cozy, you and me. When I'm lost and feeling so down,
and when I'm feeling down, my lovely family, they write me stories of what's been happening. I always feel in touch, I love them all so much, they keep me smiling. Let's share the love, family and friends together. Let's share the love, share with the world together. And as the years go by, and my memories fade, they're brought right back to me by the words on your page. Let's share the love, family and friends together. Let's share the love, share with the world together. Let's share the love.
All you need is love.
Let's share the love.
All you need is love.
Let's share the love.
All you need is love. Let's share the love.
Love is all you need.
Lovely. So I'm going to invite the team who are singing Stirring Memories to start coming up, and I'm just going to come over and ask one of the songwriters a couple of questions. Kieran. Hello. Hello. So, is it? I am. While Gavin's setting up the mics, is this going to be your mic? Is this where you stand? No, I think you stand here, don't you? Yes. Yes. So let's hustle over here. Kieran has been working on the Song Talk programme pretty much, well, from the beginning, haven't you? You've been working on it since it began.
Man and boy. In fact, I turned up in short trousers on the very first day.
Good to see that you're now in long trousers for this evening. Thank you.
Especially for tonight. I've dressed up especially for tonight.
So the big question that I'm interested in hearing from you about is Song Talk Man and Boy. Why?
Why wouldn't you with such a creative team of people? I'm not a songwriter. I don't read music. But to get together and produce something this good, and it's not just about the people tonight. We've met people along the way. Shout out to Andy, Kamal, Gary, so many people that came together and produced these wonderful songs. So it's been a joy.
Gary.
Gary and Henry. Henry's a legend because he's actually Henry the Hoover, but he's gone into Song Talk law.
I personally can't quite remember Gary, but if I'm doing anyone a misservice, then please tell me at the end of the show. Brilliant. And so this song is called Stirring Memories, and I think it was you that I was going to ask, why is it called Stirring Memories?
This is based on a guy called Bernard, who did so many things in his interesting life. But mainly he was a toffee stirrer for Rowntree's factory. But he was always a family man. He spent some time in Africa fighting people. He came back and looked after his family, his wonderful daughters. And when Gavin asked him, what music do you like? He said, well, actually, I don't like music. So two groups were already writing, so rip it up. But all the same, we came up with this wonderful thing. So there you go.
Great. So this is Stirring Memories with Kieran, Sue, Julia, Carla, who's also on guitar, and Gavin. We've got a drooping microphone.
watching boats sail to countries new, watching boats sail to countries new. When young men answered the call of the country, supporting England in time of need, on land and sea they made their journey, loved ones at home waiting patiently, loved ones at home waiting patiently. A melting pot of memories, ooh, the golden threads of life, ooh, stirring, sharing toffee with my darling, my darling, with my darling wife. Time had come, national duty finished. Now families love and praise, worked hard protecting wife and children. The treasured times, those happy days. The treasured times, those happy days. A melting pot of memories, ooh, golden threads of life, ooh, stirring, sharing toffee with my darling wife, my darling, with my darling wife.
Now, as I think back to the life I've had, the threads of my life come together. My loves and my losses, my high lows and my crosses, and I will change nothing, never.
Starring memories, starring memories, oh, starring memories.
Thank you very much. So we've covered quite a range of styles over the last 2 years, including we've actually done some work in response to opera motifs. We've looked at soul and electronic dance music. You'll hear a couple of those tracks later on this evening. Right now, you're going to hear a song called Half Full that's inspired by a sort of reggae beat. And I think that's I'm just going to check who's up for that. That's Dee Dee, Carla on the cabassa, get in the air, thank you, and Gavin, and myself on the djembe drum. So, and then we're going to go into a song called The Path Unchosen. And both of these songs were written about the same time in the middle of last year when we were actually in lockdown. So these are pieces that were essentially conceived through people collaborating online via Zoom and sending sound files and then responding to them. So I feel like all of us as a whole, including myself, had a sort of vertical learning curve when it came to Zoom early in April last year. And also in terms of managing sound files and what you could do and what you couldn't do. WhatsApp was also a great friend for collaborating. I think we're all set up. I'm just going to get my djembe drum just before we get going. Just one sec.
You djembe'd up. This is called Half Full. Need some space to be aware. Just need some space to be aware. I'm sitting on a park bench on a beautiful sunny day. I hear the birds singing and joyful children play. And I sit and think about what I'm grateful for. Things could be so different. My mind's a melting pot. It's so hard for where I'm feeling. Turn our life around. Turn your view around. It gives my life a bit more meaning. Balance is the key. And joy for you and me. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. There's a lot of folks out there, oh, consumed by their own cares. Oh, there may be something missing. Oh, there's no space to be aware. I think I've got it all in this small world, and it seems to me the best things in life are free. There's a heartful way of feeling. Turn your life around. Turn your view around. Yeah. It gives my life a bit more meaning. Balance is the key. Joy for you and me. Oh no, I can get that heartful way of feeling. If you could only see what you're gonna be. Oh, it's a better way of being. Balance is the key. It's joy for you and me. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Need some space to be aware. There's a half-full way of feeling. Turn your life around. Turn your view around. It gives my life a bit more meaning. Balance is the key. There's joy for you and me. I get that heartful way of feeling. If you could only see what you're gonna be. It's a better way of being. Balance is the key. Oh, there's joy for you and me. Oh, 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 oh.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask the Path Unchosen team to come to the stage right now, who are Dee Dee, Sue, Deb, introducing Deb for the first time, and Joe and Gav. So this was a song which is a mix of spoken word and sung word. And if you like, the premise of it is the idea that life doesn't always go in a lovely line that we've got planned for ourselves. And when it doesn't, we've got a choice about how we choose to cope with that. And so I suppose the main lyric is, this isn't the path that I would have chosen, but I think I'm just going to get on with it and follow it anyway. And there's that sort of slightly bittersweet acknowledgement that you've got to say goodbye to some things in order to experience something new. I'm going to put my mic down, but I am going to stay standing because I'm doing a little bit of conducting in this.
It's not the path that I'd have chosen, but it's laid a claim on me. And I find myself proposing, letting go and feeling free.
Your love was a gift which I accepted without condition. The loss of you plunged me into the depths of despair. But now I realise that my grief is love's perfect echo, resounding through the darkness and an answer to my prayer.
Well, it's not the path that I'd have chosen, but it's laid a claim on me. And I find myself proposing, letting go and being free.
I climbed the mountains moon after moon. Streams led to sudden waterfalls with every descent, crashing, uncaring, towards their rivers, rushing courses plotted. My tides of tears, out of control, yet strangely content.
Well, it's not the path that I have chosen, but it's laid a claim on me. And I find myself proposing, letting go and feeling free.
I drifted the long year along that spirit road, before nature sprung her augmented key to life over death, with bluebells carpeting the verge of woods, skylights rising above the ripening rape, and the sweet, sweet music of a summer's breath.
Well, it's not the path that I have chosen, but it's laid a claim on me. And I find myself proposing, letting go and being free. Well, it's not the path that I have chosen, but it's laid a claim on me.
My tides of tears,
And I find myself proposing, letting go and being free.
Gavin, just come down for a second because I've got a question to ask you. Hello. So Gavin's been facilitating pretty much, well, on your own, certainly for the last few seasons, but you've been working on the project all the way through, and I'm interested in if you could tell us a little bit about some of the people that you've met along the way. And yeah, let's start with that question. So in the recent months, you've been working in some of the care homes, haven't you?
Yes, I've been working at Parkview Care Home and working with some of the clients of Parkview Care Home. And some of these people suffer with acute dementia and some with less so. But if you know about dementia, they all have stories and they come to the home with lots of stories. And it's been amazing to play for them. So over the summer, last summer, we played in the care home for them. And to hear their stories come back to them triggers memories. And to hear it in a song, it's just been an absolute joy to be part of it. If anything, that's the most enjoyable thing is singing a song back to them that all of the participants have contributed to write and performing them to the members of the care home. And Rosa, who is the care coordinator that I've been contacting, is saying, you know, in the mornings they're humming the songs that they've heard, so which is a lovely thing. So it's been really nice.
Yeah, and we were able to go into the garden with some of the singers here today, which is a joy. We couldn't take everybody because of obviously COVID and the regulations, but it was wonderful to go in and see the sudden illumination when somebody realises that this song that they're hearing is actually their story has been wonderful. And I suddenly realised as Love Is All You Need was playing, I think that was Doris's song, wasn't it? Yeah. So Doris, and tell us a little bit about Doris and Shirley, if you would, these two lovely ladies. You're going to hear Shirley's song right at the end of this evening, but that first one was Doris's song.
Well, Doris was incredibly quiet when I first met her, but she was one of these very tactile lady, and of course we were in the middle of COVID, so she kept on trying to touch me, and I kept going, "You can't touch me, Doris, I'm really sorry." And her story was wonderful. We wrote 2 songs for Doris, actually, because we gave the participants of Song Talk an opportunity to write for them. And her story was so intriguing, her past from East Anglia and all of the intricacies of her life came out in the lovely song that Dee Dee wrote. And Shirley was just a ray of sun. And a funny little story, when we were performing the song for her, she actually had a doctor's appointment right at the end of the performance. So the nurse kept on coming up to going, "You've got to go." And she was like, "Leave, it's songs about me, I want to hear it." And because she'd heard it twice and, you know, appreciating that she had dementia, she was singing along. And it just to see the joy on her face, you know, for her to be the center of attention for one day in that way was a wonderful thing. And I mean, that's the thing you learn about from people's stories, is just the character of the person, and it's not forgotten, and that's been the pleasure. And hopefully these songs have gone back to the family. We've had some, you know, some feedback back from the families, and they've been, you know, very, very grateful for us doing this.
Great, thank you. We're just going to set up a mic now for Candor and invite Candor onto the stage, who I don't think you've heard from yet this evening. Candor, come and say hello to me while Gavin's setting up your mic.
Hello.
So,
Hi.
Candor is an absolutely prolific lyric writer, and I'm going to just ask, he doesn't know exactly the question because I didn't know the question I was going to ask him before we left the green room earlier on. So this is off the hoof, but Candor, can you tell us something about how do you start, where do you get your inspiration from? Because you seem to be sending amazing WhatsApp poetry again and again and again, and it just seems to flow out of your head.
That wasn't a question that we rehearsed earlier on. A lot of this is off the cuff. Well, I think the process of being involved in Song Talk has sort of helped to rekindle what I did when I was a kid, which is when I felt emotions about things or when I was discovering the world, I wanted a way of picturing it. And I can't draw for toffees or paint or play any instruments. So I like to paint with with words. And it's a kind of a therapy as well, which has been great about Song Talk, because it helps me to discover a way of doing something where you just completely get lost in the process. And that is absolutely wonderful. You're not looking at your watch for once. You're not thinking about what you've got to do next. You're just completely lost and enjoying yourself immeasurably.
Lovely. See, that's why I knew I could trust the On the Hoof response, because he's a wordsmith. We're going to really enjoy the next piece. It's a piece of poetry written by Candor, and it's called Force of Nature.
All right. Am I on now? Yes, okay. So this is an appreciation of nature, and also, I suppose, where we fit in, where an individual fits in to this huge, bigger picture. When you can't walk another step and your lungs are bursting, your pulse is racing, your legs are aching, picture a river's coursing waters, just like the blood in your veins, propelled by an unseen engine in perpetual motion, or the tides continual ebb and flood under the hidden spell of the moon. When the peak seeks to defeat you and the summit refuses to show itself, picture the ocean's currents, the hidden tricksters, causing sailors tribulations, thwarting swimmers' expectations. Submerged saboteur, miscreant of the deep, luring schooners to the rocks, consigning cargoes to the waves for those in peril on the sea. Currents make them slaves. When your mind turns against you to your cost, when the effort is crippling and you feel lost, imagine the feel of the wind, a balmy breeze upon your face, the high jet stream helping geese race, desert sand blasting the face of a nomad, Arctic blasts scouring the peaks, wintry rain stinging cheeks, the lighthouse beam sweeping the harbour as the sea assaults the harbour wall with all its blessed might. When you are up against it, when you wear a frown, when you're hurting, when the chips are down, think of these amazing things, fantastic natural wonders, and take a breath, steady your nerve, draw from the well you keep in reserve. One more step, then again. One more try, never say when.
Yeah, every now and again we found that something just brings a tear to our eyes, and I have to say, Candor, sometimes when I've been reading your poems over the last year when the Song Talk WhatsApp group was going strong there, I could find every now and again a little tear coming, and it's happened again now. The next song is the Hurry Up Herberts. So if the Hurry Up Herberts could come up to the stage for the... I'm not quite sure what Gavin's doing with Mina, but that's happening in a minute. This is... I love this piece. It sits in a completely unique... I don't even know quite how to describe it in terms of a style. It's a sort of vintage piece. And I'm just going to ask, because it's based on conversations with somebody from Parkview Lodge, I'm just going to come and bring the microphone over. By the way, we've got a bevy of Sues, Sue. Tanya in the middle. And Sue Charles, can you tell us about the lady for whom this song was written? And yeah, just give us a little bit of insight into the song.
Okay, the song was written for a lady called Pauline. She's 100 years old. She's an amazing character. Everybody in the home loves her and calls her Nan, very endearingly. She had a very interesting history. She ran a sweet shop, and she spoke about the children that used to come into the sweet shop, which was really our inspiration for the song. And she also spoke really fondly about her mum, and her mum sounds as great a character as she was, and her mum used to look out for the families in the area. So they're the sort of themes that we put together. She also loved My Old Man's a Dustman and I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. So we kind of drew references from those two songs as well.
And the song called Hurry Up Herberts, what's that about?
That's Sue's dad used to call the children Herberts when she was young. So we did a lot of reminiscing ourselves when we were writing the song, thinking about what it was like to go into a sweet shop and, you know, the lady that would be scary and, yeah, the little Herberts used to come in. So that came from a family reference, yeah.
Fantastic. And I think Sue, as you'll see in a second, might have a career in EastEnders coming up.
That'd be nice. Where do I sign?
I hope you enjoy the Hurry Up Herberts. I will just get out of your way.
Oh, for crying out loud. What do you lot want now?
In my little sweet shop, my shelves stack full of dreams. Bullseyes, all sorts, even custard creams. Then those little blighters come in to my little sweet shop, wanting a penny bag. Dip dabs, blackjacks and bubble gum, a bunch of scallywags. So come on boys, make up your mind. We got every confection known to mankind. Woo-hoo! We got strawberry laces and sherbet dabs, flying saucers and toffee slabs, dolly mixtures and chocolate limes.
They'll rot your teeth, you know.
So hurry up, Herberts, I ain't got time. Every bloomin' morning, in they come again.
Here we go.
When I turn my back, they try to rob me blind.
Oi!
But it's just a game we play, they know I'm really kind. But you little stinkers, remember what I said. You got your pockets full of pastels, but I got eyes in the back of me head. So come on, boys, make up your mind. Or me open nail beep will meet with your behind. Woohoo! We got strawberry laces and sherbet dabs,
Right up the Wrigley's.
flying saucers and toffee slabs.
I will tell your mum, you know. How's she doing?
Dolly mixtures and chocolate limes.
You got anything to eat tonight?
So hurry up, Herberts, I ain't got time. All together now, strawberry laces and sherbet dabs,
Pop that in your pocket for later.
flying saucers and toffee slabs,
Hope you're being good to your mum.
dolly mixtures and chocolate
Give her
limes.
this from me.
So hurry up, Herberts, I ain't got time. Oi!
Thank you. That was great. The other thing, which as they were singing, I suddenly remembered when we did the concerts in Park Lodge. Nana Pauline she sat with one of the chaps who you're going to hear about later called Frank. She often sat next to him. And she's a tiny lady now, but she's got so much vitality. And she was tickling away, you know, she was dancing, her spirit was dancing. And it was such a joy to know that we were then going to be writing for her later on in the season. So, yeah, Nana Pauline, if you get to watch this with Doris and Shirley and Frank and everybody else in Parkview Lodge at some point on the live stream, really hope that you've been jiggling to that one, because that one was exactly for you. Going to invite, Mina's already up there, and also the Maybe Not Today crowd. So when we were looking at the challenges of living at the moment through COVID, one of the things that came up was this idea of how one makes decisions, and the difficulty of sort of when confronted with things that both of which might seem sort of really difficult choices. And these next two pieces have emerged out of some of those conversations about decision making. And I'm going to ask Mina quite a difficult question, which we sort of prepped, but we didn't really get to the nubble. But it's really about why do you think it's sometimes so difficult to make a decision, Mina?
Well, you know, really, it's in all of us, isn't it? You know, even if you're talking of, I don't know, dieting or something. Yeah, I'm definitely going on that diet. And then you sneak out at midnight and throw a piece of cake down your throat or something. This is more serious, I must say. You know, it is about mental health. And I did know somebody many years ago that suffered with an addictive nature. So it's quite, it's quite sad in some respects. But I would like to write about it, especially with all this COVID and mental health issues that's been going on over the last couple of years. So,
and actually, the Time to Change sort of program, that was a national program about encouraging people to talk more about mental health, created a national anthology. And it's really a privilege and a delight to be able to say that both this poem, Mina's poem, and one of Candor's poem and one of Debs's poems all ended up in the anthology. So I'm really so proud of, because that was actually nothing to do with myself or Gavin. They submitted their poems and they got them selected. So I'm really, really chuffed to you.
kind of linked with the song.
Yeah, so this poem is linked to the next song, Maybe Not Today, but I'll probably, I'll stand up and say something final before we go into song. This is Maybe Not Today, Mina's poem.
Yes, another day dawns, and the fear strikes yet again. I cannot continue feeling such pain. I shall face the truth. I have so much to say until this voice in my head screams, no, 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 not today. No, maybe not today. But when my inner self asks, why does my brain defy? 'Tis the fear and the dread of the answer. That's where my weakness lies. Oh, to be strong and to face the truth. But really, do I dare? Now again, I feel myself spiraling into the depths of despair. Tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, I shall ask before I throw this precious life away. But why? Why is it always, always tomorrow, and never, ever today?
Standing up. So I remember when we collectively wrote This was when we were still able to see each other face to face before lockdown in the church hall over there. And I can remember talking about having a massive discussion about the whole process of decision making, and that sometimes it was the way the conversation went was why is it difficult sometimes? And we got to a place of sort of compromise towards the end of that particular session where we sort of decided, there you go, we agreed that sometimes actually just holding yourself in that place of indecision might be the best choice at that point, because one needed more time, or one needed to be more reconciled, or whatever it was, but that it wasn't a case necessarily of feeling judged, but just acknowledging sometimes being in a limbo is not it's not an ethical thing. It just is sometimes the space that people need to inhabit. So we're going to be going into the interval after this song, and there are refreshments being served back in the kitchen there. What we would ask is if you've got your seats, obviously, if you could avoid sitting on anybody else's seat during the interval. If you want to chat, that's great, but if you could do it, but without sort of endangering anyone else who might be trying to very much follow the COVID social distancing still and isolating. So that's something lively is happening down in Gillingham today. So this is called Maybe Not Today.
Drove into the countryside and I was catching up on time. Blue skies are bigger than you and me. Feeling dejected as I go. Shall I call, let them know? Well, round and round in my head, giving me no peace. Oh, so much at stake. Oh, and the choices we make. Oh, time is moving on. Well, and life can run away. Ooh, and I need to know. Maybe not today.
Stepping on a cobbled street, memories in my feet, the smell of you from distant days. Hoping the answer lies ahead. Go or stay, I'm full of dread. Round and round the story plays. Oh, so much at stake. Oh, this journey we take. Time is moving on, yeah. Life can run away, and I need to know. Oh yeah, maybe not today. As the sunlight caught your hair, I was taken back to that fair when life was young and sweet. I
thought I had it, but I was wrong. The path is jaded, song unsung. Round and round, I need to move on. Oh, so much at stake. Oh, in the vows that we face. Time is moving on. Oh, yeah. Life has run away. Oh, life has run away. I need to know, yeah. Maybe not today.
Followed the path to the water's edge. Nature is my daily bread. The day wore on with my usual resolve. The stars and the moon have got the key to a future of what could be. Round and round, it's fine with me.
Oh, the world will not break. Oh, and the choices we make. Time is moving on. Life will run away. I need to know, yeah. But baby, not today. More time now, baby. No time is moving on. Oh yeah, I know. Life will run away. I need to know now, yeah. I need to know, but maybe not today. Oh, but maybe not today. Oh yeah, now, but maybe not today.
Thank you very much. See you after the interval. Welcome back. And just want to give a wave to the people that are actually watching us live through a live stream. Could everybody give a wave? Really great to have you on board, live streamers, and great. Yeah, the audience is down here waving as well. So that's really brilliant. Glad to have you here. So this next song, there are some people, songwriters, that did quite a long stint with us that can't be here tonight. Kamal, who else did some of the long stints with us that isn't? Yes, Andy, that I'm going to get on to. This chap, Gary, I think you need to ask the songwriters about Gary at the end, because as far as I'm concerned, he's a very spurious figure. So yeah, Andy particularly. Andy's been an amazing part of the songwriting group, and he's responsible for some of the backing track songs accompanied by backing track that you're going to hear later. And he was very pivotal in this particular song. We did a set that was around thinking about sort of summer holidays, and we wanted to create the next big summer hit. And this song came out of it. It's called My Golden Anywhere. Kieran, you've been on stage this evening already, so I don't need to introduce you again. And this is Natalie, who you'll hear from a bit more later on. So just checking that the setup's all set up and everybody's mics are on. And you done a sound check? Yeah, you done a... Hey, there you go.
La 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 la. I took a walk the end of the day. The path was overgrown. Moonlight lit my broken way. Forever drifting down. Shattered rock, twisted root, forgotten sleepers, hidden truth. It's not the path that I would choose, but tonight I have nothing to lose. Precious memories take me there, to the golden anywhere, hoping I can find a way back to my dream holiday. La 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 la. Is that the sound of distant waves, crashing, breaking, rolling haze, calling me with siren song to a place I belong. Finally, I reached the shore. Dreams and reality obscure. My horses rise amongst the surf. My happy place, my inner home. Precious memories take me there, to the golden anywhere, hoping I can find my way back to my dream holiday. Busy as the scene revolves, howling with a pack of wolves, feeling senses overflow. The only place I want to go. Precious memories take me there, to the golden anywhere. Happy I can find my way back to my dream holiday. Precious my dream holiday. La 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 la. Precious memories take me there to my golden anywhere.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask the Sometimes singers to come up to stage, and I'm going to take my mic over to have a little chat with Joe. Sometimes, yeah. You know that song, Sometimes? Joe, you've done quite a bit of the song talk, almost as much as Kieran, I think. And I suppose I'd quite like to know, I don't know, tell us a little bit about some of the rewards, maybe some of the challenges, or, you know, what's happened for you through song talk?
Yeah, well, I did start out quite early on, and I'd done a tiny bit of songwriting, but mostly at that point, I wrote poetry. And I think one of the things that's been really rewarding for me is to actually learn how to create the music and how to fit the words to the music, and realizing it's not quite the same thing as writing poetry. It's something very different, and that was really enjoyable to kind of do and to learn, but also the idea of collaboration as well. It's something I hadn't done before, and to actually blend all your ideas together and to let go of some of your darlings as well. That was a really, really good lesson. And to realize just how much fun it is and how inspiring it is to work with other people to create these things. So.
Yeah, Gavin's got a phrase about leaving your ego at the door, doesn't he? Yeah, which can be challenging sometimes if we've thought of something that is a really good idea but just doesn't quite fit that song. But the other thing that you mentioned there is the difference between poetry writing and lyric writing, and I just wonder if you might say one or two more words about that.
Yes, I think with lyric writing, it's a bit the KISS rule. Keep it simple, because you're thinking about the rhythms of the music, and also about how would you sing this, as opposed to if you're standing and reciting it as a poem. It's something very different, and there's a lot more nuances and things that you have to think about.
Yeah, thank you. Just to say, this next song was obviously I help run the programme with Gavin, so I generally know the songs that are being written, and I've got a fairly good idea about how they're getting developed and what's happening to them. This was a song that essentially I seem to feel like it was you and Andy worked this up, and then it just appeared. I didn't even know it was going to turn up. Are you going to?
Correct, yeah. And I was surprised to see it on the album, so very pleased about that. Yeah. Andy helped me to put the song together. It sort of it started out as a poem, and other people on the WhatsApp group got involved in it and offered some lines, and then I suppose a tune came to me, and I passed it by Andy, and being the sort of great guy that he is, he said, yeah, I'll put that together for you. I've got the instruments and I've got the equipment. And I said, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a great song. And Candor just mentioned the album. So if you have heard songs that you like, Fat Lady Opera have got a SoundCloud album. And I think there are about 40-odd songs that have been written over the last 2 years. So you won't hear all of them this evening. And so if you hear ones that you'd like to hear again, or if you want to go and hear the whole album, please, or the two albums actually, we've got a 2020 album and a 2021 album. Please feel free to go on the SoundCloud Fat Lady Opera site and have a listen. This is Sometimes, and Andy, we are missing you.
1, 2. I'm on. Right. Okay. Ready? Cool. Yeah. Sometimes I don't have my troubles to seek. They grate on my soul and make me feel weak. Sometimes I'm given a cross to bear, a cross I didn't ask for, but all the same it's there. Sometimes I fear the worst, but tell myself don't worry. Then the worst comes to pass, and it's in a fearful hurry. It's not a sin to lose your footing. It's okay to have your doubts. The path of life's not always easy. Just have faith and you'll win out. That heavy rain may fall upon you. That heavy rock may bar your way. But a quiet ear can help to dry a tear. It'll all work out one day. There are times when I try to be strong, times when I can laugh at it all, times when I say to myself, just be tough and stand tall. But sometimes the weight's too heavy, sometimes my heart's too frail, sometimes I just can't take it, sometimes I simply fail. It's not a sin to lose your footing. It's okay to have your doubts. The path of life's not always easy. Just have faith and you'll win out. That heavy rain may fall upon you. That heavy rock may bar your way. But a quiet ear can help you dry a tear. It'll all work out one day. Sometimes my life's a candle that burns so fast and bright. Then the rivers of wax pour down on me and take away my light. Sometimes my life's a cavern, ice cold and wet and dark. The thing is like it's drowning, and the cold freezes my heart. It's not a sin to lose your balance. It's okay to have your doubts. The path of life's not always easy. Just have faith and you'll wear out. That heavy rain may fall upon you. That heavy rock may bar your way. But a quiet ear can help to dry a tear. It'll all work out one day. And the quiet ear can help to dry a tear. It'll all work out one day.
Just lovely. Our next piece was written for a chap, or with a chap in mind called Frank, who lives in Parkview. And I'm just going to get the Rolling Down the Road team to get up and come and join us. And I'm just going to come over here. And yeah, who can tell me, who was on that songwriting group, the Rolling Down the Road? Were you on the song? No. Who can tell me a little bit about Frank before I just throw a microphone in somebody's direction? I'm worried.
Frank was the chauffeur.
Ah, Trevor. Yeah, Trevor was, yeah. I'm going to speak on behalf of Trevor. Yeah, he was the chauffeur, that's right.
He was the chauffeur, and he drove the great and good, including the Queen. And yeah, he's got a lot of stories to tell, and the one of the big lines in the song is "keep stum." So that's a phrase from London, and it's about keeping quiet because you hear a lot of things said in the back of a car that are for your ears only, not to be passed on.
Great. So this is one that where we start with a particular clapping rhythm, and then we pick it up again in the middle. So if you feel inclined to join us in the clapping rhythms, please do. Dare I actually haven't. I've got an apology to make to Carla because I inadvertently asked Kieran the question that I was going to ask Carla. So you got an entertaining story from Kieran earlier on. So later on, I'm going to come and take the mic. Not right now, Carla, but I'm going to ask you a new question, and I don't know what it is yet. So we'll keep that suspense for later. Meantime, I'm just going to put my mic back and then come over to the other side of the stage to help with the clapping. This is Rolling Down the Road.
Rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road, and keeping stone. Frank's a lad of the Oaken Road, a man who loves his rock and roll. He likes his car, he drives the stars around. He digs the music of the Beatles sound. Driving with discretion, that's his middle name. Tried in his profession, Frank keeps the secrets of the rich and the famous. He was rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road, and keeping stone. Well, he drove the great and he drove the good. He even drove the Queen round the neighborhood. He drove that Ford so straight and true. She trusted him with a tale or two. Time the Queen no reason to think he'd stoop to treason. But she told stories to her royal friends. She signaled Frank to drive around again. Round and rolling down the road. Sing along. Rolling down the road, rolling down the road, and keeping stone. Ooh yeah, he was rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road, and keeping stone. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Frankie, for how safe you made us feel. Thank you, Frankie, for all the years of keeping it real. Thank you, Frankie, 'cause Frank stole the steeler of his Berkeley three-wheeler. Rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road, and keeping stone. Yeah, yeah, he was rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road, and keeping stone. Yeah, yeah, he was rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road, and keeping stone. Yeah, yeah, keeping stone. Yeah, yeah, keeping stone. Yeah, yeah, keeping stone.
In my notes, I've got 4 times rolling down the road. What I should have put was 4 times keeping stum. Anyway, just goes to show. On my other notes, I've got 4 stums. But anyway, what's up next? Oh, yes. This is a song about another lady that is actually a friend of mine, Barbara, and she's in her 90s, and she lives in what used to be known as the Robert Bean Lodge. And I was really delighted to be able to work with Gavin and these great people towards a song that just explores Barbara's life. So let's bring the mic over. This is called Barbara's Bossa, and I happen to know that Barbara's niece is going to be watching this at some point down in Cornwall, and we're hoping that it's going to be streamed to Barbara herself. So hi, Barbara. If you actually get to listen to this, it'd be wonderful. And definitely hi, Pam. Sue, can you tell us a little bit about why is it called Barbara's Bossa? Any particular line that you really want us to listen out for?
Well, it's called Barbara's Bossa because the rhythm is a bossa nova. And we did that as a group. All the ideas came in, and the first song that we were thinking about was something like The Girl from Ipanema. And it just all sort of developed from there, and we ended up with a bossa nova. It was a good fun thing to do. And the line that really I think we all picked out, this Lady Barbara is losing her eyesight, and one of the things that she does is she looks at people's hands. So you'll hear a line at the end of each verse, the lifeline in my palm, and other pieces on top.
Yeah, and I can tell you that until actually very, very recently, bear in mind she's in her 90s, she was an ambassador for Kent Association for the Blind, and she travelled all over the place, sort of representing KAB and letting people know about visual impairment. Yeah, and great sense of humour. I was really delighted that there was a bossa rhythm because she's got that sort of verve for life. This is Barbara's Bossa.
Ladies' fingers serving at the local store. Busy farmers work one hand so sure. Eyes can't deceive, but not a touch. Lifeline in my palm says so much.
I remember colors by a finger stroke, brush piano ivories to raise my hopes, breathe the lilac perfumes tender trace, lifeline in my palm of gentle grace.
I created stories on the theatre stage, weaving my life into different shapes, helping others see the way I do. Lifeline in my palm, so calm and true. Lifeline in my palm, so calm and true. Lifeline in my palm, so calm and true.
So this next piece involves a backing track, and I'm just going to come up and have a little chat with Joe. And I think what we might do is just check if you could talk through your mics. I think that's the best way, then we can check they're all on.
1, 2.
Yeah, great. And Nat?
1, 2.
Lovely. Okay, so Nat, tell us a little bit about La Danseuse, which is a French title, by the way, in case anyone's missed that. And we have a French speaker amongst us.
Bonjour, bonsoir tout le monde. La danseuse means the dancer. So that particular song was written for Anne. She's in her 80s, and she is a dancer, and she was also a ballet dancer, and she was also a dance teacher. So we've been really completely inspired by her story, and particularly when she, as a child, discovered her future through the keyhole of a door where she was at school. And all fine.
So we've been up till now, I think the last few songs have been very upbeat and very, if you like, very joyful, and hopefully got your feet tapping. We're going to go into a couple of songs now that are very heartfelt, and I've said to the singers behind me, the performers, don't be worried if the audience start to look a little bit not less engaged but more introverted, because I think that some of the songs that you're going to hear in the next couple of songs are just more reflective. They're so beautiful, and this afternoon I've had tears spring to my eyes a couple of times. This one, La Danseuse, the lady who's concerned has actually been in 2 operas that I've directed, Anne, and she's such a vibrant and amazing character, full of wit, a bit like Barbara. In fact, actually, a lot of the folk that we've been working with have got their own sense. Do you agree, Gav? Are you on, Mike? No?
On.
There you
Hello.
go. Yeah. Yeah, yes. So you mentioned Shirley earlier on, and I know that you've had cups of tea with Anne,
Yes.
and there's quite a lot of teasing that goes on. I can't remember what she was saying about, is it apple cake that you like?
Gypsy tart. Every time I go down there, she makes me a gypsy tart.
There you go.
And I blame her solely for this. This is Anne.
So Anne, when you watch this with Teresa, we hope that you take the. That Gavin needs less gypsy tart. Maybe just a fig roll once in a while. This is La Danseuse.
Tell my story through the dance.
dance. I share the glory of the dance. The dance. I share the glory of the dance. The dance. The dance. En position. 3, 4, bras arrondis. 6, 7, 8, pas de chat. Pirouette. Voilà, parfait. Attention. Attitude. En pointe. 2, 3, 4. Et arabesque. La la la. 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 Petit protégé. Listen to the words that I say. Take your next encore. Close your eyes, are longing for more. The dance, the dance. You'll share your story through the dance, the dance. You'll share your story through the dance, the dance. You'll share your story through the dance, the dance. You'll share your glory through the dance.
That was lovely, thank you. I'm going to ask the vulnerable ladies, the ladies singing Vulnerable, to come onto stage now. And this is Sue and Julia. Sue, can you tell us a little bit about this song? And I'm just going to put this down for a sec. And how it came about. Who were you writing with, and what happened?
Yeah, I was writing this with Andy and Candor, who's behind me, and we all had lots and lots of ideas for this song. And love is a very emotive subject, obviously, and does lots of strange things to you. So we all had lots of ideas, and we were just trying out different ideas, and I was running the production of the project, and I recorded lots of different ideas and put them on top of each other and muted some of them, and basically the outcome was I'd sort of listening to lots of them at the same time, and it kind of worked out and into some sort of counterpoint kind of thing. So we decided that it was good enough to leave it like that. So there's some interesting things going on in this song.
Yeah, it makes a lovely duet, I think, this piece. Julie, you were involved in the very beginning and then stepped out, but you've come back now as a performer. And I'm interested in what you've observed of the songwriting that's happened over the last nearly 2 years, and where the songwriters started and where they've got to.
It's just amazing, absolutely amazing, the difference from the beginning when I first stepped in. And we were all learning. Some were already quite involved in songwriting and some were complete beginners. And we had lots of sessions to know how to put songs together and technical stuff. And the songs that have just been produced over, particularly this year, is just incredible and gone on to SongCloud. And I think
building the bridge has been amazing for everybody. So.
And have you got a particular favourite line that you want us to listen out to for this song?
Yes, I think love's a mystery to me, and I'm a child again. I see what's happening to me.
Lovely, love's a mystery. Thank you very much. This is Vulnerable.
Love is kind, love is blind.
Love is hard to define.
Why am I so confused?
Love can hurt you, love can heal.
'Cause it sometimes seem unreal.
Oh, love can leave you so vulnerable, vulnerable. Why do I, floating high, touch the sky, want to cry, love, cry? Love's a mystery to me. I'm a child again, I see what is happening to me. Lost control. La la la, la 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 la. Now I know what is my fate, and it really is too late. I'm in love with loving you. It's true. I just hope you love me too, and somehow muddle through. Oh, my love, I am vulnerable.
Thank you. I'd like to get Sue and Natalie back up on the stage. We're going to lift the tempo again a bit. This is one of our electronic dance music numbers. And as we draw sort of like towards the end of the performance, I'm just going to ask Sue if you would say a word or two about, if you like, the challenges of writing collaboratively and the rewards of writing collaboratively. So what's tricky and what works brilliantly when you're trying to write with other people?
I think especially when you're writing over Zoom, it's being able to listen to everybody. That's the hardest part. And of course, when you've all got an idea, you're all trying to get it out there really quickly. So you have to put some guidelines down about, either put your hand up or take it in turns to go round so that we make sure all the ideas come together. And I think the best reward is the friends you make. Certainly, I feel I've made some friends for life with this.
Yeah, I think I have to say, as a slight outsider, because Gavin facilitates the sessions, I've watched this amazing thing where, it's like almost as a sort of side effect, friendships have just sort of sprung up, and really in a sort of very meaningful, very deep way. And I wonder if it's because you're dealing with quite sort of strong emotional content, so you have to be vulnerable to quote some of the song that we've just heard.
Exactly, and I think one of the things that I've discovered through songwriting is that you have to open up, you've got to talk, and you seem to tell these people that you've never met before the whole of your life story, and somewhere in that life story is a song.
Yeah, thank you. So this is Underwater Paradise, and we haven't got one of the co-songwriters of this is a young woman called Ellie Mae Fox. So Ellie Mae, if you end up watching this, we're missing you too. And Natalie, can you just give us one or two lines that we should listen out for in this amazing up-tempo?
Yes. Once you're down there diving, free diving, there's the feeling that you don't want to leave this underwater paradise.
There you go. It's an amazing song. I love this song. This is Underwater Paradise.
Private church, private temp church, private temp church. It was a world where I could fly. It does feel like you're being space. It's small, but it's so much bigger than us. At some point, you feel like you become confident.
I don't want to live this underwater paradise. Diving into emptiness, sinking into emptiness. Underwater wilderness, underwater wilderness. All around me, quietness. Oxygen is all I miss. In this world I can fly like a bird. In this world I can stray, far from the herd. In this world I can speak without any word. I don't wanna live this underwater paradise. Oh, the world can fly like a bird. In this world I can stray, far from the herd. In this world I can't speak without any word. I don't want to live this underwater paradise. Water, deep blue water.
water, what a paradise. Water, deep blue water. Water. Here I go again. Water. 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 Water.
Thank you. Thank you. And as we go into our final song, I'm just going to ask the Acts of Love singers to come to the front, please. Got a fair few thanks that I just want to go through. First of all, to all the St Augustine's team up at the top there, Mike, Jeff, and I can't remember the name of the chap on the right, but certainly Mike and Jeff, thank you so much for taking us through all the tech this afternoon and this evening. It's been brilliant working here. Thank you, Amanda, and all the, basically everybody at St Augustine's that's just made us feel so incredibly welcome. Thank you, Karen and Trevor, for coming along and offering to sort of help volunteer this evening, essentially doing all the front of house stuff that would have been very difficult to try and do both. Should say a quick thanks to a ton of our funders over the last year: National Lottery, Porchlight, Time to Change, Kent Foundation, Kent Community Foundation. I'm sure there's a couple that I've forgotten. Have I forgotten? Arts Council. Should have written the list. I think they're on the programme. So, and all the donations from the public. It's just made this particular project doable. Massive thank you to all the songwriters, past and very present, and the performers tonight. It's been a joy working with you. Gavin and I have loved every moment. Thank you so much. I'm just going to... is there anyone else? Oh, yes, and the care homes that have opened their doors to us in this very, very difficult time. And particularly there's been one care worker called Rosa who has just made a lot of the conversations at Parkview possible by dint of essentially going over and above her duties in the care home. So that's Rosa, if you get to listen to this with your people in the care home, thank you so much. So this song is called Acts of Love, and I'm just going to, because I did say I was going to ask Carla a question, so I'm just going to come and ask Carla. So let's just get that mic up. Oops, that's it. Hold on a second. There you go. That should be, you should be able to speak straight into that now. Give that a go. Just say hello, Carla.
Hello.
Great. Carla, can you tell us something that you will be taking away from the Song Talk programme?
I think something I will always take away from this is the amount of absolute fantastic friendships I've made from it, because yes, you do have to open up really your soul if you're going to do collaborating with people. You've got to be very positive and listen to everyone's ideas and really trust each other. And I think it's that element of trust and the element of friendship that's come through all of this that I think is absolutely fantastic and amazing. And I just want to thank you all for being such wonderful songwriters with me, and thank you for working with me, because it's been a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you, Carla. And I'm just going to go through, just double check the mic. So Sue, just give us a hello or a goodbye.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Lovely.
Hello.
Lovely.
Hello.
Super.
Hello.
Great.
Parking at the rear, thank you.
And finally, one last question over to Gav. I suppose a similar question really to Carla. What will you miss about the fact that Song Talk's coming to a close?
Well, it's been a wonderful journey to be able to facilitate and watch writers develop over the course of 18 months and ideas, come to fruition. It's an incredible thing to think that, 3 weeks in, there's nothing to begin with, and then 3 weeks later, there's an amazing song. And it's just been a privilege to be part of that journey that everyone has been on. including being able to go into a care home and speak to the participants. It's been a joy and been something that I have found incredibly rewarding. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank you, Tanya, for facilitating and making this absolutely possible. Without you and your sterling work behind the scenes, which lacks the glamour of sitting in front of, you've just been amazing. And I'd just like to say, if we could have a round of applause for Tanya.
I'll always take a round of applause. Thanks very much. So this has got a very memorable chorus. This is a song written for a lady called Shirley. And I remember when Gav very first met Shirley, I think he rang me, or the next time we spoke, he was so excited to have met this lady. And as he started talking about her to me, what came across was just how she was, as a young child, she had been adopted. Her family was actually very big, and so she had been adopted, but later in life she'd managed to get to know them again, and there wasn't an ounce of sort of regret or bitterness. She was just full of joy, according to what Gavin was saying. And as he said, the other thing that we haven't really made much of is that these guys have between 4 and 5 weeks to write these songs. And these are the amazing songs that they come up with in such a short time. So I should have made more of that earlier on, but thanks for reminding us about that. So very memorable chorus. Please feel free to join in. And yeah, if you give us a decent round of applause, you might get one more song. Thanks very much. Acts of love, everybody.
Thank you. Just one more thing. This song is normally sung on the album, which you can find on Fat Lady Opera, by Terry Ann, who is in America. Where does Terry Ann live, Carla? She lives in Illinois. So one of the other writers came from Illinois. So she used to get up at silly o'clock in the morning to come to these writing sessions, and she's the lead vocal on this. So we've taken it down so I can sing it. So I hope you enjoy it. You were an only child, but you had no regrets, because you lived a wonderful life with parents who cared. Oh, how they nurtured you through life as you grew and weathered the stormy times you knew. It's your acts of love, your acts of kindness that keep that smile so strong. It was your acts of love, your acts of kindness that keep me going on. That keep that smile strong. Days out on a boat with such a dear old friend that you came to know as Uncle Jack, a lovely man. And how you take his hand and walk with you on the sand. And all those summer days, it's your acts of love, your acts of kindness that kept that smile so strong. It's your acts of love, your acts of kindness that keep me going on. That keep that smile. I'm loving you every day now. I'm loving you every day now. Your acts of love, your acts of kindness that keep that smile strong. It's your acts of love, your acts of kindness that keep me going on, to keep that smile. I'm loving you every day now. I'm loving you every day now. It's your acts of love, your acts of kindness, to keep that smile so strong. It's your acts of love, your acts of kindness, that keep me going on and keep me smiling strong. Rolling down the road. Bit faster. Rolling down the road. Rolling down the road. And keeping strong. Frank's a lad of the Oak Kent Road, a man who loves his rock and roll. He likes his cars, he does the stars around. He digs the music of the Beatles sound. Driving with discretion, that's his middle name. Pride in his profession. Frank keep the secret of the rich and the famous. He was rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road and keeping strong. He drives the great and he drives the good. He even drives the queen round the neighborhood. He drive that Ford so straight and true. She trusted him with a tale or two. He gave the queen no reason to think he stooped to treason. But she told stories from the royal friends to signal Frank to drive around again, round and round and rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road and keeping strong. He was rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road and keeping strong. Thank you, Frankie, for how safe you made us feel. Thank you, Frankie, for all the shows you working out real. Thank you, Frankie. Frank's show stealer was his 33-wheeler. Rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road and keep it strong, yeah, yeah. He was rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road and keep it strong. He was rolling down the road, rolling down the road, rolling down the road and keep it strong. Keep it strong.
Thank you so much for coming. Have a safe journey home. We've got some buckets. If you do feel like giving a donation, that'd be very welcome. And thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Oops. Sorry? Oh, thank you to the, yes, thank you to the tech. I did it earlier, but yes, and again. And yeah, and thank you to the stewards. Well done. We're going to go rolling down the road.